spin it forward for me with LeBron. Is he trending in the right direction? What are you seeing in terms of his impact in winning basketball from LeBron?
Well, he's found different ways to impact the game where, game four, he gets a 2020 first time in his career, playoffs or regular season, he grabs 20 rebounds in a game, ends up, making the layup to send the game to overtime, then the game sealing and one over Dylan Brooks. He flexes to the crowd and roars. And that was really, I think, a special moment for him and the Lakers crowd with honestly, there haven't been many of them with their championship run coming in the bubble. He hasn't had a lot of playoff moments to celebrate, but that was one of them that I think, is going to be when we look back on LeBron in LA, like that's going to be one of those plays and one of those moments that I think is referenced. But I think for LeBron, he's been very jump shot heavy. And you mentioned like that 19% on threes has primarily been just him going like 2 for 9 a lot of nights or 4 for 14. And it's like, he's just relying too much on his 3-point shot. And, the Grizzlies were able to get away with Xavier Tillman defending LeBron, one-on-one for a lot of that series. And the fact that he either didn't have the confidence to drive by Xavier Tillman or just couldn't in some instances, would try to put a couple moves on him. Xavier would hang with him. And it was just like, this does not look like the LeBron that we're accustomed to blowing by the best defenders in the league. And now he's got this 6'8" big man center who's kind of slowing him down. So I wonder, how Golden's, I'm interested to see what Slater thinks, but, to Draymond's point, like he has been much more off the ball, and that's been the Lakers kind of splitting the ball handling duties between LeBron, D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Dennis when he's on the floor. They'll run some second side actions to get him in mismatches and post him up, ISO him. He'll of course run pick and roll with AD when they really need a bucket, but definitely more off the ball than we're accustomed to seeing. And I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if, can Golden State get away with Kevon Looney on him during stretches, like, and maybe putting Draymond on AD. Like, I'm really interested to see how they approach it.
This is where it was absolutely imperative that Andrew Wiggins return to the team. Like this type of matchup. Like they can't handle a big wing if Andrew Wiggins isn't there. But now that Andrew Wiggins is back, and he wasn't great in Game 7, but I think generally, considering he missed 2 months, Sam and me were there. Like that was a pretty impressive series from Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, shameless plug. I'll have a little conversation with Andrew coming out on the website by the time this is out on Tuesday, I guess. And not to interrupt you, Slater, but like he's the headline of our conversation was him saying it's only going to get better from here. He talked about his wind, how he spent a lot of last playoffs picking up full court, and he's like, I haven't done it once in these playoffs. And so I think that's a huge factor for sure.
Yeah. Since he's gone to the Warriors, has become an elite wing defender, which, was absurd to think about a couple years ago. But you even go back to that playing game that Jovan referenced earlier. He was good on LeBron in that game. And then obviously you go to the playoffs last year. Great on Luka, great on Tatum. Remember what he did to Tatum in the finals? So like this isn't some like, throw Andrew Wiggins into the deep end. How's he going to handle it? I think they feel very good about like Andrew Wiggins taking a bulk of the LeBron matchup. They just against De'Aaron Fox had a tough time. I think Wiggins has a more difficult time with quicker guards like the Ja Morants, the Foxes. But he's 6'8", wiry, strong. What they can't do, which they tried on Fox, was like Gary Payton. Maybe Gary Payton gets a little bit, but he's really small for LeBron. Dante DiVincenzo, too small. The guy who I think is a wild card in this series, who completely fell out of the rotation during the last one and didn't really like that he did, but is Jonathan Kuminga. Physically, he can match LeBron just from a size, speed, lateral quickness, jump, all that. But Warriors got to get his head right, got to find lineups where he makes sense, because man, the Lakers ignore him offensively. And he's not a horrible 3-point shooter. He shot like 35, 36%, but they just back off him so much, dare him to shoot, and he wants to believe that he's going to make the shot that sometimes kind of stalls the Warriors offense out. So as far as the LeBron plan, though, I don't think you'll see much Looney. I think it's just going to be a lot of Wiggins, a sprinkle of some Kuminga if they can get him on the court. And then maybe at key moments, if LeBron's like really going off, you just Draymond, kind of like they did against Fox, right? If he needs to be the firefighter, if the house is burning down.